This is a quick video to, first of all, yes, this is pregnant me. 2 pregnancy tests have said I'm not pregnant, and that is just so not the case. I am very, very much so pregnant. I have at least twins. I'm trying to determine whether I've got a third baby inside of me. Anyway, this is a short video to my little girl who I'm talking to back in the past. She is standing on some steps outside a very official looking place, and she's taking people to see where I was either executed or not executed in America, because of the lies that people like Dylan in the next room and a lot of the other pedosexuals I'm exposing, because of the lies that they've all told about me, because I'm basically coming out about their crimes, and they don't like it. And what do they say about people who tell about other people's crimes? They say snitches get stitches. Do you realise how many times people have murdered me? Even New Zealand government has murdered me in a public execution outside of New World in a locked coffin that had, goodness me, about 30 odd locks on the outside of it. And thank you to the person who shared to my Facebook page the video of me being executed in that coffin. Yes, they had a camera in there. And yeah, me being gassed first and then burnt to a crisp, and then once after I died, coming straight back on camera to prove to people that I'd come back from death. So that's why when the execution in Orewa wasn't successful, they then took me to America to be executed. And if I'm not mistaken, I put my case before United Nations before they executed me. To be honest, at this point, I'm still telepathically investigating whether or not I was executed in America, and like I was here in New Zealand, and murdered countless times in New Zealand. Yes, because I have angelic biochemistry, and because I'm exposing people's crimes, including New Zealand government's crimes, because of my angelic biochemistry, every time I get murdered, I keep coming back from death. And it's always by choice. Like, if I chose not to come back from death, I probably could have. But what has happened in this case is just really too important. It's too important. It was too important to not come back for. So that's why I kept coming back from death. And that's because I have angelic biochemistry. And so I dedicate this video to my little girl, who's standing on the steps outside a very official looking building. I think it's the same building where they've got that statue of Abraham Lincoln. I think it's possibly that building that she's standing outside in America, and she's telling the people who are trying to convince her that I'm dead that I'm actually alive. And she's listening to me as I'm speaking this, and she's telling them what I'm, as much as she can about what I'm saying to them, saying in this video. And so, baby girl, this is a message from me, your mum, in the future. I'm in the year 2019. I'm passing this message back to you. I think you're in the year 2000 and... oh, it's very hard to say. About 2006? It's very, very hard to say because I've got children of many ages. And yes, I had my first child when I was just a little girl. So anyway, baby, you tell those official people that my mum and her dad, which I believe is my grandfather, went to see Sir David Beatty to tell him ahead of time the circumstances that were set in play today. And we even told him about 9/11 and how I wanted to save all my children, and Sir David Beatty gave me an official reference that his family are holding for me. And you tell them that the month is May in 2019. My age is 48. I'm still alive, even though they executed me in New Zealand, in Aotearoa, New Zealand. I'm still alive, and I hope you feel happy now, baby, because I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I passed through all that bullshit that they were trying to put on me. So, to all of you guilty people out there, like the guy in the next room who's guilty as fuck, to all of you guilty people out there, the only crimes that I'm interested in exposing are not so much petty crimes. I'm talking about real serious crimes like rape and murder, killing children, infanticide, all of that. And so to a lot of you who have seen those videos that were made about me by the police who were raping me, and also by my family who were raping me, because they knew I was trying to expose their crimes. Really, really sad of you to believe all that stuff. I believe a professional movie maker company was involved in the production of some of those videos. One particular I'm seeing right now is a psychic. Incoming. Yes, I've got incoming psychic intel coming in as I'm making this video, and I'm seeing that one of the most incriminating videos made about me in order to justify my execution in Orewa and how they paraded me around the streets and all. Yes, I remember. One of the most incriminating videos was made in a studio. It was in something like a Photoshop studio. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the studio said that they would tell the truth. They would help me to expose what had happened. Yes, and that was back in the 1990s. So videos have been made about me since after my dad died. So what happened was my dad and I, we went around to all these different places. The same way that when one of my daughters was pregnant, we went around to all different shops and people to witness it before she was stolen. My dad and I did this when I was 6 years old because of my foresight into the future, of the events that have occurred and the events that are still occurring now. So, for example, 9/11, I saw 9/11 happen as a little girl, and we went to Sir David Beatty and told him, look, this is what my daughter's worried about. She's worried she's going to be executed in America. She's worried that the World Trade Towers, which I'm not sure if they were built in 1978, but they were eventually built. I don't know. I've got to check my facts on that. But we told Sir David Beatty about 9/11, and I asked him for a character reference because I knew that I was going to be set up by New Zealand government, because I was going to be exposing a lot of the crimes that our judges in our country are guilty of. So me being the time traveller that I am, which has been proven on camera, I don't know how many times it's been proven on camera, but it has been proven on camera. I can even fly, people. I can even literally fly, and that sounds like the rantings of a crazy person, but believe you me, it's not. So my dad and I, we went around and we went to a few different people to get character references for me, to also warn them about the impending dooms that were coming in the future, etc., etc. So there's a whole history that my father and I have, and I know I've just lost the point of what I was saying earlier, but that's what happens when I record on video. Sometimes I just lose the point I'm trying to make, and you'll just have to bear with me for that. But anyway, tomorrow is Saturday, the 25th of May 2019, and I am zooming into Sky City to pick up my $250 million that I won when I was there in 2016. So let's see if Sky City had been honest enough to hold that money for me at my request, when I did request for them. And also, I time traveled on that video. So there is yet more proof. And you know what really breaks my heart about even my story is the fact that I'm so damn gifted. I'm so spiritually talented. I'm an angel, literally. Well, actually a god, angelic being, a god. You know, I say that again, that sounds like the rantings of a crazy person, but look, I'm not going to apologize for the fact that I'm born an angelic being. I'm not going to apologize for that. I have tried to use my powers, my spiritual talents, for good, to help people, to save people. But it seems that I've only been persecuted for that, and let me tell you what some of those reasons are for why I was executed by New Zealand government right here locally in this area that I live in. One of the reasons is because as a time traveller I can go back in time and collect evidence on various matters. So for example, let's say someone back in the year, I don't want to go back too far, but let's say someone back in the year 1996. Let's say someone in the year 1996 committed a major fraud and got away with it. Well, I'm the kind of time traveller who can actually go in there, go back in time, get evidence that is needed to prove that fraud took place, and I can bring that back into the future, slap it on their desk and say, here, this is what I dug up. And this is one of the reasons why New Zealand government trashed my name and executed me in our country. Can you believe the Queen approved that? It's because of my ability to be able to time travel back in time and get evidence. I can also teleport people. I can also bring people from dead to life. Gosh, and a lot of women have been very jealous of my talents and abilities. You know, I've been abused so badly in my life because of all of that, and they're still jealous of my money. My good looks have somewhat dissipated, but I'll get them back again. Look at that grey hair coming through. I'll get them back again. I'll get my good looks back again. And I can also go back in time and get some of the record sheets from mental health places where they abuse children, even babies. I can get records and photographs of situations like that had happened. That has happened, and I can bring those forward into the future. So that's a very big reason why New Zealand government had me executed in our own country and in America, if I'm not mistaken. I do know I was taken to America, and I was facing execution. And this is a prime example of how they can make an angelic being look like a demon simply because I can get evidence that they don't want me to have. I can get evidence that proves that New Zealand government was burning people beneath the Auckland District Courts. Why do you think the Sky Tower's there now? I can get evidence that proves whether or not other courts in our country were doing exactly the same. I can get evidence of bank fraud. I can get evidence of bank fraud and slap that in front of a judge today. So that's one of the main reasons. It's because I can prove New Zealand government's deliberate genocide of the Indigenous in our country. That's why they had to take me down. I was just, too damn good. I am too damn good. But what concerns me most is the number of children that they've stolen from my womb under the Mental Health Act. Yes, I'm pregnant again now. I think I've got 3 babies in me, but I've definitely got 2. I need an ultrasound to check that out. But they have stolen a number of babies from me while I've been under the Mental Health Act this particular time. After they executed me, they changed my IRD number to make it appear as though I'm a different person to the person that they executed, because they that's another reason they executed me and decided to spread all the lies and believe all the lies and make all these false and incriminating videos, is because you are listening to somebody who has a whole lot of wealth under her name. The premises that Rodney Mental Health are on now, I actually own them. My dad and I bought those with my winnings from the Wheel of Fortune game that we played. I think it was Auckland City or Wellington. I think it was Auckland City. When I was 6 years old, you could say I used my powers to win, but I don't think so. I was just a lucky little girl. I'm still really, really lucky with winning jackpots and things, as you can see by. Thanks, by the way, to that person who shared me winning that $250, $250 million. Thanks for sharing that to my Facebook page. I love you so much for that. So a little shout out to the people who took videos of me winning that $250 million at Sky City. Please share those videos to my page again, or PM me if you feel a bit worried about any repercussions. So we're getting off track here. But yeah, that's another reason. Another reason why New Zealand government trashed my name, made those false and incriminating videos about me, and why my